Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going for kind of a pastel goth Victorian vibe. I ended up calling it pastel goth because I did the outside of the house yellow because I think it was cute. But the inside, I tried to do another limited pack build. Today's is limited. Well, it's not limited only to, but I tried to limit it to base game, vampires, and the new paranormal pack because I just want to use it for everything right now. But I ended up going with vampires because I feel like, not given enough credit as a pack when it comes to build and buy mode, because it's got such an amazing selection of like Victorian decor. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, that's what we ended up going with. This roofing annoys me. I always try to go for a certain look and I never succeed, but this one I kind of did okay because I had that roof piece that ended up working out okay. And this house does end up, I feel like, being a little bit too big, but I really wanted to put like almost like a library wing, like an Ode to Beauty and the Beast kind of a library wing in. So I did that with a hallway, which throughout the building process, the hallway itself kind of seemed out of place to me until I actually put the bookshelves in and made it like a little reading nook. And then the upstairs floor plan gave me so much trouble. And I feel like a lot of this video ended up getting cut out because it was just me scrolling through the debug menu, as always. And then I ended up making it a family home as well. So I feel like people like me, like goth millennials who are settling down and having families, would live in a place kind of like this. And then I actually uncharacteristically was really proud of myself for the shelf. Usually I bulldoze the lot 17 times before I settle on a shell that I think is passable and then go from there. But I also did end up changing the fence color on the outside. And I probably, looking back, shouldn't have put it on a foundation this early because foundations, I don't know if you know, make landscaping such a pain. Any landscaping that you do will jump up to foundation height. So like if it's just like a small like step up foundation, it usually doesn't really make a noticeable difference. But if the foundation is a few steps like this one is, it's so obnoxious. It really is. And even though I was going for like a Victorian thing, I did try to start out with very much non-Victorian features to this house. And then I remembered that I had vampires, so I went with that. Which is another reason it's more of like a pastel goth kind of vibe, because I really didn't like any of the swatches of the windows or that door with the darker swatches on it. So I ended up going with the white. And I actually really like how ornate all of the decor is for vampires. I just think it's neat. I don't know what that squeak was. God, I am an embarrassment of riches. Yeah, and then normally I go way overboard with windows, especially on rounded rooms like that, and I actually kept it kind of minimal. And then this fireplace, I don't know if you watched my last video, but this fireplace does actually line up with the chimney that I put in the house. To an extent. Don't get out of yourselves. But yeah, I don't know. The windows on the top floor and that roof piece do end up looking a little too similar to an EA build. So, but I'm not a builder. I do this for fun. I'm trying to get better. We're learning, we're growing. It's a process, and we're all going to do our best. Oh, God. So the part of this build that actually ended up being the biggest struggle for me was the round room upstairs, because you'll see as I go upstairs and do the floor plan, but the room upstairs, when I went to delete the inner wall to kind of play with it, the roof was clipping in. And so I knew that it had to be a room. It couldn't be like an open area, or else I'd have to get rid of that roof outside entirely, and it would mess up the roof on the porch. So my plan was to have it be like an open reading or art space. Excuse me. And I still get that, but I had to use archways because spandrels wouldn't work. Spandrels made the roof clip in, because when you do spandrels, it acts as though you're getting rid of the wall entirely. So I had to leave the wall and put in archways, which still bugs me because I feel like it didn't go with the whole vibe of the house. But I do end up liking the floor plan in the end. I do include a little nursery. Excuse me. Oh my God. I do include a little nursery. My whole plan for this house was initially to make it like an abandoned haunted house and have like a creepy nursery with one of those weird debug dolls, just to bring it all together. But I ended up not going that route. I probably will still end up doing something like that, so keep your eyes peeled. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes as time goes on. I get better at building. Also, doing this build made me really want to do a custom content only build. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a CC build. It obviously won't be downloadable from the gallery unless you install those mods and download that CC. But what are you going to do? You could always download the CC. I happen to enjoy a lot of it. Yeah, I don't know. Whereas with my last video, the family home I did in Brindleton Bay, the floor plan was so difficult for me, and I really, really, really did not enjoy it. This one I actually really love. I think my only issue with the floor plan of this house is the kitchen, and that's because I didn't know how to fill it up without making it seem over cluttered. So the kitchen itself might seem a little empty, but I didn't use any CC in this, and I really did try to limit my packs. So if you did want to get this from the gallery, it is on the gallery, by the way. If you did want to get this from the gallery, I mean, there's nothing to say that you couldn't fill up the kitchen yourself or renovate the house. If you do renovate the house, comment on my build in the gallery itself and let me know, and I'll come check it out, because I love that kind of stuff. I want to renovate all of the EA builds and do that kind of thing, and kind of almost rebuild the Sims for myself. I'm working on my own save file, so we'll see how that one goes. That save file I'll probably have to completely redo before I just started it, so there's no reason to even think this far ahead, but I'll have to completely redo a lot of stuff because my sim in it is in nothing but CC clothes and makeup. So if I were to give it to you all now, my sim would be very odd and most likely bald and unpleasantly terrifyingly scary. And I wanted so badly to have bar stools in here, to have an island you could sit at, but there are no bar stools in this game that go with the Victorian-esque kind of vibe that Vampires has to it. Which, side note, the cabinets that came with Vampires might be my favorite cabinets in the entire game. That pantry being the reason why. Because I like Sims for the realism. Like, it's a simulation, so we're supposed to be trying to like live vicariously through the Sims, and we're supposed to be trying to live lives through the Sims, and so I like the realism of it. And I feel like a lot of us may not have grown up with built-in pantries and these gargantuan kitchens and all of these things. So I really like that cabinet because it reminds me of the pantries that I always had growing up, which is just a lot of like making do with what you had kind of thing. So I'm a big fan of those cabinets. Also, I love those corner cabinets. I think they're so pretty. And I like that the cabinets are designed to look like they've got some clutter in them. It makes it even more realistic for me. I also don't know if you've noticed, but I tend to wiggle the camera around a lot when I'm trying to figure out what to do next. It's a habit I'm trying to get rid of. Also, I shouldn't even say organization because I completely lack organization. I go into these builds and I say, okay, I'm going to do this room first and go room by room on each floor. And then I just end up like not doing that. I feel like my build energy is very chaotic because I just do whatever springs to mind. And it's just, especially when I'm going through like debug, I find something, I'm like, oh, that would look good in the living room. So I'll go over to the living room and then I'll end up decorating the entire living room. And then I'll be like, oh, I was only halfway done with the kitchen. Or, it's just, thanks ADHD. It's a lot. Also, I originally, when I was laying out the floor plan of this house, I was like, well, I could have a formal dining room and have this hallway, have books on each side, and like you have to walk through the books. And then I had that big long hallway, and I was like, that would be better for a library because I could put a longer bookshelf and stuff like that. And I feel like it worked. And that hallway is actually the reason I love this build so much, because I enjoy it. I also am big fat in love with the wallpapers from Vampires. It's letting me live out my haunted house fantasies. And I really do enjoy the build aesthetic of the Paranormal Pack. However, EA, I am confusion. Why are the coffee tables all in that swatch? Like, there's only a couple of swatches of the coffee table that do not have a flower print. And I love a good floral print. I am a plus size woman who lives in floral prints most of the time. However, I am not sure if the hand-painted flowers on a coffee table was quite the move there. I mean, I've been playing this game since its inception. I mean, we're talking throwback to the OG Sims. But I've never once, playing this game, thought, I need a coffee table with flowers painted on it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Also, I love these curtains, by the way, but these windows from the Vampire Pack are... they're so obnoxious to curtain. You probably heard that. That was my wife opening our kitchen door. Also, I like to complain about not having runner rugs for like hallways in The Sims. And then every once in a while I remember that these rug pieces vampires exist. And I'm like, yes! Love me a runner, a customizable length runner. I did end up cutting out a lot of the footage of the landscaping as well. Just because I did not impress myself with the backyard of this house. Oh. Oh, I also didn't film myself decorating the bathrooms at all because bathrooms bore me and I don't want you guys to get bored either. My wife's looking confused. She's searching for something. An object? Her will to live? I don't know. Also, EA delivered with the plants in the paranormal pack. Just throwing that out there. They are... Love it. Also, they gave us one hanging plant. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with only getting one hanging plant because it's cute. Like real cute. Though I have a lot cuter ones in some CC, but that's another story for another time. She was looking for a blanket, by the way. Excuse me. Yikes. This entryway too I really liked, and then I ended up not putting anything in it except for a table and a light. I overclutter, and in an effort to not overclutter, I feel like I left a lot of things lacking. But at least this house got a TV. The last one only got a penguin TV, so at least this one has a grown-up TV. And I hate wall sconces. I hate wall lights so much, but I kept trying to put them in this damn house. I don't understand what I was doing. There I go, spinning the camera again. It's what she's known for. And see, this is what I mean about getting distracted and going off somewhere else, because you can see that I wasn't done, like, anywhere close to done with that kitchen, and I went off and built an entire library wing, and then went upstairs, and I'm messing around upstairs. Oh, God bless. My wife's playing Valhalla, so that's probably why you can hear an old Viking sea shanty in the background. Oh, her spear's glowy. Fun. I need to redo Valhalla. So, I cut out my struggles with the floor plan of this house. But you can see right there, I decided to add a second bathroom. This upper hallway, though, I feel like I did not decorate to its fullest potential. I couldn't figure out how to fill it up without making it unusable. But what can you do? I've only been building for like a year. Don't come at me for it. We're learning together. We're growing. 2021 is about growth and development because 2020 was about eating our feelings and growing physically. But now we're going to grow emotionally, so don't talk to me about my lack of building skills. I know that they're not there. I am fully aware that I'm not good at this. But hey, I enjoy doing it. So don't make me regret posting these videos. Yeah, so originally I was going to do this nursery as like abandoned and creepy. But I don't know. It felt weird to only have one like abandoned creepy room in the house. So I was just like, they're goths making babies. And that is who I envision living in this house, by the way, is a couple of elder millennial goths who've unexpectedly reproduced. But they're enjoying it. They're living life. They're having a good time. Raising goth kids to be good goth people. Living the life we all wish we could have. Any other elder millennial former goths out there? Because I was something back in the early aughts. Just a mess. Also, I really like this wallpaper from the spooky stuff pack. I feel like a lot of packs don't get the credit they deserve. Like the spooky stuff pack, I feel like people kind of shit talk it because it wasn't like living up to what they wanted. But honestly, quit putting so much on EA, especially if it's not an expansion pack. If it's an expansion pack, yeah. Hope for the best. Voice your displeasure. But when it's a stuff pack and the theme is spooky, you know for a fact it's going to be Halloween centric. So don't sit there and act like your butt hurt because you had to wait for paranormal for a haunted house. The paranormal stuff pack is exactly where the haunted house feature should have gone. Spooky was solely for costumes and trick-or-treating. Also, I don't know why I decided to do a red theme in this bedroom, but I did, and I love it. And honestly, I kind of want my bedroom to be this theme. I would also like a smiley ghost lamp. Also, I'm not sure why I had the grid on this whole time. Usually I toggle the grid off after I finalize the shell. So I'm not sure why I had that on there, but I don't know. Life is a journey. It takes unexpected twists and turns. Also, I don't know about anybody else out there, but I feel like kids' rooms are the most fun to decorate because the clutter in this game is so good for kids' rooms. Like, I don't know. EA just goes hard for the kid clutter. Like, I mean, look at that. That is literally a decoration item that is just kids' clutter. It's perfection. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This room I designed with like an older kid, maybe verging on preteen kind of age, which is why I went for like the red walls and stuff like that, but I still kept it kind of cute with the ghost lamp and the arts and crafts box and the ghost wallpaper. I don't know. I feel like I tend to do toddler and young child rooms more often than I do like kids, like older kids or teens. So I'm trying to branch out, learning, growing, experiencing life. Also, I love this desk that came with Paranormal, and I love it in the yellow swatch, so I decided to do this entire room in yellow. I think I ended up doing like a yellow and purple kind of theme. Yeah, there's the purple and gold rug, which I also love. I want that rug in real life. And I just gave them like the cheapest computer because this house was already really expensive. I think this house ends up being just over 100,000 simoleons, which ain't exactly cheap, my friends. I think I put a window in this room too. Yeah, I put a window in this room too. I go back and add a window to this because I put in a plant, not a light. I also added a light, but I put in a plant. And even though in The Sims, the potted plants are literally just just there for decoration. They don't require any care. I still felt like that little palm plant needed natural light, so I added a window, which, throwback to The Sims 3, I don't know, maybe it was like a fever dream that I had, but I feel like I remember in The Sims 3, like, there were some plants that you had to actually have your Sims take care of. Like, not just outside gardening plants, but like indoor plants. I don't know, maybe that was just me. Let me know if I was hallucinating. Also, I didn't realize until I had already started putting down furniture in the master bedroom that I was inadvertently doing it in the same color scheme as the kids' room, so I do end up changing that. I think I end up going to a gold or something. But again, the build and buy mode, as far as the Vampires pack is concerned, slaps. My too much gene does kick in when I'm decorating this parent's bedroom, though, because I don't give them too much furniture, but I clutter the hell out of the dresser that I put in this room to the point where, looking back at the build, I'm like, uh-oh. She's a bit much. I end up putting like a makeup tray and perfume and cologne and just a whole bunch of stuff on there. And I do end up putting a grandfather clock in the upper landing area just because I felt like it really brought the vibe of the house up, like, to a whole nother level. But like, I feel like the majority of the upper landing and hallway is just wall decor that I was just trying to throw on there to make it seem like it wasn't so empty. But I had such a hard time filling in that space. I struggle with floor plans unless I'm going off of a pre-existing one, which I recommend you do, so you don't have bad builds like me. Yeah, I ended up switching this room to a gold color. And I think I tried to put statues in so many rooms of this house. Like, I know I ended up putting one statue in one of the downstairs, like, hall areas, but I'm pretty sure I tried to put I put a statue in this room too. Because, I mean, honestly, who doesn't want a weird kneeling fairy to stare at you while you sleep at night? I mean, I know I do. This fence might be the only thing in the Vampires pack that I don't like. It's extreme. I feel like if I had built the house bigger and made it more like castle-esque, this fence would make more sense, but I don't know. And then I did end up building a little gazebo. I feel like the backyard needed something, and even though I did go outside of the box or outside of my comfort zone and put a pool in this backyard, I felt like it needed something. And then a lot of the footage I ended up cutting out because it was just me going through the debug. But here's some screenshots. Don't forget to click like and subscribe and comment and do all those fun YouTube things. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!